It's what they love to do. From plan 9 to the room, we've seen it all. They'll make you laugh and cringe, they always give their all. True Blue Riffcast, we're your podcast hosts, talking out the movies that are worst of the worst. True Blue Riffcast, join us on this quest to find the lost in films that failed the test. Tuesdays at 10.
Oh, hi audience, what's up? It's Greg Sestero here to introduce you to the True Blue Riffcast, where they talk about amazing movies, bad movies, and everything in between. So you're listening to the True Blue Riffcast. Enjoy it.
Thanks, Greg. This is the True Blue Riffcast, the #1 Riff Tracks podcast in the world. I am Jeremy, and I am joined, as always, by...
Hi, everyone. I'm Dave. I play guitar on that track you just heard.
Sorry, I made my drink a little strong tonight.
Yeah, you're saying something about that.
I am drinking garbage water, so I guess it makes sense. It's a Ted Lasso thing.
Oh, okay.
So how's it going, Dave?
It's going all right. I watched 2 movies today. And boy, oh boy, was I disappointed. I never felt a more sense of dread and like, oh my God, what have I done? While watching Madam Web and Ouija Shark towards the end.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it. But boy, do we have a lot to talk about. This is the first time in a while we've done 2 movies. We used to do it all. We used to do it all the time, and it was terrible. But now we're just being like, let's just do the one. But we got a double feature today, and it's quite a double feature.
Yeah, it was quite an inadvertent double feature too, because usually when it's a holiday weekend, we just get a sale from Riff Tracks, and we don't get anything that's actually new. And this last weekend they gave us both. So
yes.
And of course Dave and I were unfortunate enough to watch both of them today.
Yes.
We watched both movies today. And it was
that was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake
to watch. Yes, I actually fell asleep 40 minutes because I went out early because I knew I'd have 2 garbage movies to watch. So I went out early and got my, that means I got up very early to get my work done. Came home, started watching Madam Web. And Jeremy and I are texting, watching it together. And I must have disappeared, and Jeremy was like, what the heck is going on? Like, this movie is terrible. And I woke up like, oh, he's like, oh, I'm finishing Ouija Shark now. I was like, oh, yeah, that ending to Madam Web sure was great. Then I had to go back later and watch the end of Madam Web and then watch the second half of Ouija Shark, because I watched a little bit of it yesterday. And, boy, man. Oliver
we'll
Alliance
get into
said
that
in the Discord
too,
that he didn't even finish it.
Yeah, there's some things to say about both of these. Citizen Yarn, first of all, don't pity us because we did it to ourselves.
Yes. I'm completely to blame for Madam Web. Well, maybe I'm not completely to blame because I was tricked. I was tricked into thinking that this would be a great fun time, and it wasn't. It was not. Don't watch this movie.
No. Well, again, we've got some things to say about both of these movies, and the weird similarities.
Yes, there are.
That were in both
it's very strange. Like I'll be like, wait a minute, is this the same movie?
Before we get into that, though, we of course have Dave That Riff coming up, and
Yes.
before we get to that, let's take a look at the weekend box office. Furiosa and the Garfield movie both came out this past weekend, and they were both very close in money made. Furiosa made $32 million, and the Garfield movie made $31 million. So
Wow, imagine saying that about a Garfield movie in the year
it's
2024.
it's still pretty low, but for a holiday weekend, there should have been more people, but there wasn't. These movies don't look very good, so
Yeah.
And then we have If in third place, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes at fourth, and The Fall Guy still hanging in there in fifth place. So yeah, nothing much to say really about any
Well, I mean,
of those
the
movies.
movies just like this year, they just are terrible. I mean, it's like you look at like what's going on, like what's exciting, Wolverine and Deadpool. That's it.
And that doesn't come out till July, the end of July. So.
Yeah. So I mean, like, what is there to get excited about? I mean, like like we had Dune. And
Yeah,
we
that one
had
did okay.
Ghostbusters.
That one was fine. We had Godzilla, then Kong. That was okay. It was about as good as an American-made Godzilla movie can get. It's no Godzilla minus zero, which is still. Kung Fu Panda 4 came out. Really? We're right in the middle of this, woman. Say hi to my wife, everybody, live on stream. So let's get into Dave That Riff. I decided to try a new format this time. Instead of a head-to-head, this is a...
I know one of them.
This is a is it or not. So I've got 10...
Oh, wait a second. We did not discuss this.
No, we didn't. I've got 10 quotes here. They are either from Gumby or they're not. They're from a different riff. And bonus points if you can tell me the other riff if it's one that's not from Gumby. Because it turns out
I'm filing a complaint with the judges.
This is
not
very
prepared for this.
This is very coincidental because I had already had planned to do this with Gumby, and then Riff Tracks tweeted out that it was the third anniversary today of them releasing Gumby the movie. I have full faith in you, Dave. I have full faith.
Okay.
I tried.
10?
It's 10. I tried not to make it too easy, but I tried not to make it too hard for you either. I want to test out this new format. Oh, we made
Guys,
Citizen Yarn choke on her food.
Completely blind.
I'll give you one. I'll give you your first one. This will be your. This will count, but it'll kind of be a warm up for you, just so you can kind of understand what you're going into.
So I need to get 6 in order to win.
Yeah, or you can get bonus points.
Okay.
If you can tell me the one that it's from. So, this first one, this is probably the easiest one.
Okay.
And then you should be able to get the bonus point if it is not a Gumby.
Oh, so it's not. So it's clearly not Gumby then.
Yes. Well, I'm dreaming of a dream about a dream, huh?
Okay. Well, that's not Gumby. That's Inception.
Not Gumby. It's not Inception.
It's not Inception.
No.
You're dreaming about a dream about a. Oh no! Wait, that's Creating Rem Lazar.
That is Creating Rem Lazar. So you get 2 points for that one. See?
Oh, nice.
It's not so bad. All right, next one. Hooray! The Light Sword. The Light Sword, trademark free, is working.
I think that's Gumby.
That is Gumby.
Okay.
That is when he's fighting the robot.
Yeah,
version of
at the
himself.
end. Yeah.
Let's see what's next. Rube Goldberg refused to sign a release, so technically, this is an Alan Smithy machine.
I'm gonna say that's Gumby.
That is not Gumby.
Oh,
that is from.
what is it?
That is from Mikey.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
That
was Riff of the Year in 2022. You think I would know that?
Let's see. Fake That Guy? No! Wait, that wasn't Fake That Guy?
Fake That Guy. So this is not Fake That Guy. Well, if it's a guy, it's not Gumby. So I'm gonna say it's not Gumby.
That is not Gumby. You are correct.
Okay.
Any guess on the movie that it is?
Fake that guy. It's not Face Off.
This one, you're probably not going to get it, but
Hold on, wait a minute. Spy High.
no, sir. That is from Winter Beast.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen Winter Beast in a
one
while.
of the stop motion sections of that movie.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
What's my score?
Right now, you have 4 points
Out of how many?
out of 4 questions because you got the bonus point.
Oh, I've gotten them all. No, wait.
Well, you didn't get the one right, but you got the bonus point.
Oh,
from the
that's
other
right. Yeah,
one,
I got a
so-
bonus point. Okay. All right, cool. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's a little confusing, but
Okay.
at least scoring wise. Okay. Mouth moving rules. Are there any?
Could be Gumby. Could be Ghost House. Whatever. I'm gonna say Gumby.
That is not Gumby.
Ah, dang. Was it
That
the
is-
Little Mermaid?
That is a talking cat?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's try this one. Oh my, this music does things to my brain. That's from the movie. And then the riff, massive hemorrhaging to be specific.
I'm gonna say that's Gumby.
That is Gumby. That is
Okay.
when the friends are listening to the band. At
Yeah,
the
Gumby's
gazebo.
band. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next. At last, I have a butt for pooping.
Wait a minute. I've heard this. I don't think it's Gumby. I'm gonna say it's not Gumby.
It is not Gumby. Can you tell
Okay.
me what riff it's from? I will tell you that it's from this year.
Yeah, I was about to say it's recent. I have a butt for pooping. To think about what we've. I don't know, but I'm just gonna say Grim Tracks.
Ooh, close. It came out around Grimtracks, The Little Mermaid.
Ah, dang, it's close. Yeah, that makes sense. I have a butt for pooping. Okay, that would be the Little Mermaid. Okay.
All right. It's like the Thanksgiving picture if Norman Rockwell was deeply psychotic.
That is not Gumby.
That is Gumby.
Damn.
They
I
were
was
all
so
sitting around.
confident too.
Yeah, they were all sitting around eating food. All right, got 2 left.
Okay.
I'm not used to this new model. Leo DiCaprio says that every few months.
Ah. I think that might be Gumby's car. So I'm gonna say Gumby.
That is Gumby.
Okay.
It's not from his car. It's from when the human doctor is trying to separate Pokey and the other 2
Ugh.
when they're all in one
Okay.
big glob together. All right, last one. You should be able to get this one. I guess the
Okay.
lesson here is taking candy from a strange man is really, really fun.
See, you said I should be able to get it, and it's either Gumby or it's not. I'm gonna say that it's not.
It is not Gumby. Can you
Okay.
tell me what it's from.
Some candy from Strange Man. Is it Creating Rem Lazar?
No. It is
Okay.
Christmas Martian. But you still got a point
yeah,
for
that.
that.
Okay. All right.
So overall, Dave, out of I guess I can't really say out of just a possible 10, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. So you did pretty good. Out of 8 total questions, you got 10 total questions, you got 8 points. So you definitely passed. I don't know if Dave is still there. Or if he froze up or if we lost him completely. Not really sure, guys. Or he's just like, I don't know, long conning me here and just not moving.
Did I get right though? Like minus bonus.
Oh,
I'm
there
here.
he is. I hear him again. You like froze up completely on.
Oh,
on
yo,
my
you
end.
froze up.
Well, I don't know which one of us. That'd be interesting to see which one of us froze up for the audience. Let's snooze this ad break here real quick. Yeah. So you got 8 points total. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them correct, and one of them you got the bonus point for guessing that it was creating Rem Lazar. So.
Oh, can you like, okay.
You did good, Dave. You
Okay.
did good.
I can't see you. Oh, there you are. Okay, cool. All right, you're back. Cool. Hey, Ben, what are we gonna do next?
I think
'Cause, like,
we have to talk
we have
about.
two.
I think we have to talk about Madam Web first.
You want to talk about Madam Web first? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what? No, let's end with Madam Web because I
Okay.
want to talk about Ouija Shark. I want to talk about that ending
Yeah, that's really
because that
kinda
was
like,
absolutely
that was
bonkers.
It
Like,
number
okay.
one, it didn't need to happen. It had nothing to do with anything that went on in that movie. And it's just like, why? Why do that?
so Ouija Shark was made by the same person who gave us Jurassic Shark.
Which shocked me.
Jurassic Shark seemed, it seems more competent than this one was, which is weird because it came out like 6 years before this one.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say he released
Wow.
that one in 2016, and he did this other one in 2020.
Oh, it's a pandemic project. That explains a lot.
Sorry. Jurassic Shark. Sorry, Jurassic Shark was released in 2012.
Really? I thought it was like 2015.
I thought it was newer than that.
Me
and
too.
the director made Ouija Shark in 2020. He also is not the credited director of Ouija Shark 2. Interesting.
There's Ouija Shark 2. There's another one of these.
Yeah.
That's it. Well, look at it and see if our friend is in it.
It's got the same. Okay. It's written and directed by the guy who played the dad in this first one. And he also stars in it.
Is it like a Feeders 2 situation? Does he play the same character? Is he a ghost?
He plays the same person.
How?
It says
How is
when
this
Ouija Shark
possible?
emerges from hell to cause havoc once more on Earth, a sorcerer with a history of fighting the ghostly Great White must follow it to a multiverse hellscape for one final battle. But this time, he's bringing along some friends to help send the shark into oblivion. So,
You guys, I could be watching Kara Comparetto play Final Fantasy X right now, and here I am talking to all of you about Ouija Shark 2.
oh man. Apparently, the dad character wrote the first Ouija Shark. Also, he just didn't direct it.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Okay, so we should probably talk about Ouija Shark.
So
Okay.
Ouija Shark starts out on the same beach that that Jurassic Shark had some scenes in. And I had said to Dave, I'm like, what is it with bad shark movies and rocky beaches? And then I looked it up, and I'm
turns out
like,
it's the same
oh,
beach,
it's the
yeah.
same. It's literally the same beach that they filmed the scenes in Jurassic Shark on, where it's just rocks. In fact, we had called that episode "Sunbathing on Pebble Beach" because of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And if we would not
For
have
the record,
watched,
I like Jurassic Shark.
yeah, I thought that was a really good riff. The movie fit
Yeah.
good with riff tracks. This one,
It's
not so much. It
Well,
had some funny moments.
I won't say I hate it, but it has problems.
It has lots of some big problems. The I can't say she's the main character because she isn't really focused on until toward the almost end of the movie. But the girl there finds a handmade Ouija board floating in the water.
Okay. We got to talk about how it gets there. So she pulls up to this parking lot and it's like, where are all my friends? I'm mad about all my friends not being here, but she's not saying any of this. It's just implied. So she goes, our main actress, who I don't want to be mean, but
we'll just say the director has a type when it comes to the women in this movie.
Yeah. I don't want to get Jeremy's channel swarmed with justice warriors of the social type. So I won't say what I'm thinking, but you need a different kind of actress to play this part if you're going to do this. That's all I'm going to say. So she gets there and she, takes her shirt off and is sunbathing on the Jurassic Shark beach. And he's like, oh, I'm going to go for a swim. She goes for a swim in this filthy lake and finds the Ouija board just floating there. Like this garbage just floating in the lake. And I think she takes it with her. Like she gets a phone call like, hey, where are you guys? They're like, oh, we're at this other place. And they're like, well, why weren't you coming to the lake? They're like, whatever, shut up, come here. They're like, fine, I'll come there. I'll just got to put my boobs away. So she puts her boobs away and she takes the garbage Ouija board that she found floating in the lake with her to this cabin, this house, this vacation spot that all her friends are going to go have an adult, as they say in the riff, an adult daytime sleepover.
Yeah,
like that's really is the best way to describe it with all these women. And I don't think it's ever explained why they're doing this. Are they just like getting away? Is it just
the one girl, who the first girl we saw was her old college roommate. It's somebody she knows or is related to. I don't remember. I know they said it, but she's house sitting. And she said, yeah, I'll do it, but only if I can bring some of my friends. And she said, just make sure there's no boys. So that's why they're at this house. They're house sitting.
All these women are at least 30.
Yep.
There's no boys. What, like... But what if I want one of them to comfort me with his penis?
Especially once this ghost shark starts flying around.
Oh, yeah. But
either eating people or zapping them away. It's kind of unclear how this shark works. Because most people, they get bit and then they like lightning away.
Okay.
And one person actually gets like ripped apart and there's blood.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre. Extra bizarre. Also,
Citizen
I will
Yarn
say,
is keeping...
I found out a few interesting little tidbits about this movie.
Okay.
The budget for this movie was
$10.
$300 was how much the director spent making this movie. That's it. It was
I made
also
more than that driving Uber today.
It was actually filmed in 2017 and sat on a shelf until it was released in 2020. There were 2 whole locations used for the shoot. A public park and a suburban home.
Yes.
That's it. 300 cents, yeah. That's what it felt like a lot of the time, Oliver.
Yeah. So we should probably talk about Car Wash Guy.
Yeah. So 4 of the girls go out to like swim, and the other girl is going to And then she sees a schlubby guy washing his
Yeah.
Honda Accord outside. She's
Couldn't
just
they
Googling
find-
him. He's got a shirt
Yeah.
on. He's not like, standing there trying to be actual
Yeah,
man
he's not like
candy.
ripped or anything. He's just
Yeah.
like, and he's washing his car very, very, very poorly, might I add. And she's just like sitting there being like, oh my gosh, this guy is the best. And I'm like, really? Him? Like, there's not very, Ghost Dad might be a better, oh no, wait.
Oh, no. Don't say that. Not that Ghost Dad, guys.
Not that Ghost Dad. There's another Ghost Dad that we're talking about in this movie. Not the rapist, Bill Cosby, but
Yeah, not that Ghost Dad.
allegedly. They let him out of jail, so whatever. But anyway, so she'd be like, "Hey, do you want to come help me?" And she's like,
No,
"Yeah."
She asked him. She's like, do you need
no,
help?
No, she's very enthusiastic. Be like, yes, I want to come help you wash your car. And I'm like, why is she into this guy? I mean, that's what I say. That's what I say about most dudes and chicks who choose other dudes over me. But in this case, it's like, really, like really him? I mean, it's very strange. And then they have like this very strange sort of sexy car wash scene with her where
she takes her shirt off and she has her bikini top on.
Yeah.
And that's really all that happens in that scene.
Yes. And then later they go away for like most of the movie.
Yeah.
And then so then we go back to our friends in the house, and they're like having a pool party, and the main girl like does like a cannonball into the pool, and they're all having a good time and having a cookout and having a
With
cookout
no
without
food.
with no food. Yeah, it's very strange. And then they're like, "Hey, let's go play." Like they're 12. Like I've never known. I'm pretty sure the Ouija board is a girl's toy. Because I've never known
more
dudes
girls to do that,
to
definitely.
play with a Ouija board. And that's not a judgment. It's just an observation. It's
They're looking for some entertainment after swimming and eating, and they're like, "Oh, there should be some board games around here somewhere." And the girl's like,
"No, I found this trash in the lake.
I found this Ouija board, and let's do
come
that."
over, 30-year-old women. Let's play on this Ouija board like we're 9." And they're all just like, she's like, "Come do it." She has to get really mad for them to come play with this Ouija board. And so I forget what they ask it, but apparently playing with it summons the Ouija Shark.
Yep.
And the Ouija Shark shows up and starts, killing people. I mean, that's really all you can say. And I think like about it, it's a very bad effect. So next scene is main character girl calling her dad, and her dad's like, "I don't want you doing any more of this occult stuff. I'm up late. I have to go." Okay, bye, Dad. Click, and the scene's over.
Yeah.
And so then we get a bunch of scenes where the Ouija Shark is like stalking like all of the girls and like somehow like eating them or killing them. But that's not interesting. Really, the more interesting thing is like what's going on with the dad.
Yeah,
the dad starts doing
the last 10 minutes of this movie is the most interesting bit.
So the dad starts doing research with tarot cards or something. It's really dumb and not explained very well. I think me trying to explain it would only make me look dumb, and I do that plenty well by myself without the help of Ouija Shark. So I'm not even going to try. But he like has tarot cards, and somehow it leads him to some like fortune teller lady who is like, oh, we can summon the Ouija shark with this crystal ball. And he gets the idea somehow that I think like the Ouija shark is like going after his daughter, and he gets the idea that like, okay, so if I grab this crystal, it's like the Palantir from Lord of the Rings. If you grab it, it will like, you know, it will like show you Sauron, or it'll show you the Ouija shark. These are sentences I'm saying. And so he grabs the crystal ball, and the Ouija shark manifests itself and like eats him, and he dies. He's dead. He's
weird.
Atomized. Yeah, it's very strange. And the next time we see him, he is a ghost in the sky.
Yeah.
And he does Doctor Strange battle with
as the
Ouija
ghost shark shoots fireballs out of its mouth.
Yes. So and he summons I'm not kidding, Doctor Strange stuff.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And does battle with the Ouija shark, and I think he dies.
He
his
flies
ghost
at
dies
it.
too.
He flies at the shark.
Okay.
And they explode.
Okay.
And
then his ghost is dead, right?
Supposedly, apparently,
I think.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. He's double dead.
Yeah.
So like he died, and then his ghost died, battling the Ouija shark.
Yeah, and there was this
I think so.
hooded guy
that
was talking to his daughter while she's running through the woods with the shotgun that was in her trunk, like an assault shotgun. And I don't even remember what he was saying to her at all. Like, it's gone.
Yes,
after,
yes. There's about this, yeah.
After the ghost dad and the ghost shark explode in the sky, it goes back to the house. I don't even remember what happens because I was so shocked by the last scene of this movie.
Okay, so the Ouija shark stuff ends. Okay, we'll just get to it now. Jeremy sent me a message because I was like a little bit behind him.
Yeah.
And he's watching. He's like, and I get a message out of her like, "What the f?" And I was like, "What's your problem?" It'd be like, Ouija shark just did something crazy, and I was like, "Well, I'm finishing Madam Web right now. I'll get back with you." And so I thought what he was talking about, the WTF moment, I thought it was when Doctor Strange Ghost Father was doing Doctor Strange battle with the Ouija shark. I thought that's what he was talking about. And I said, like, he's like, just wait, like, what are you talking about? It can't get stupider than that.
I said, just wait. Trust me.
And I said, just wait. And so there's a double whammy here. And so it like shows the White House. And I was like, oh, hi, White House. And then it cuts into, it shows like a 1960s phone and a red MAGA hat next to it. And they're in the Oval Office. Dude boy picks up the phone. Really bad Trump impression. Like,
oh, yeah, it's not even close.
Like, you know, like, we're not going to, like, guys, vote for whoever you want. It's fine. Okay? That's not what
we don't talk any
here
politics here,
about.
guys.
Yeah. But this was really dumb.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what he said. Or I didn't even hear what the Trump guy said.
The hooded guy was talking about how the experiment was a success, and soon they'll be ready to go worldwide with it. And the president said that he couldn't wait. It's going to be huge. And he said it about like that. Not even that good. That was
okay.
Pathetic.
So that
just
raises many more continuity. What is the nature of the Ouija shark?
And that was the
questions.
End of the movie. Yes, it made Chevy Chase's Gerald Ford impression look like a doppelganger.
Yeah,
exactly.
It really did. And then Mike said, and it's like he was talking to me because I literally did what he just said. It'd be like, so everybody who 5 minutes ago said, how could this movie get any stupider? Here's your answer.
Yep.
And I was just like, I couldn't believe it.
Ouija Shark, folks.
I was like, why did they have President Trump in Ouija Shark?
This movie was made in Canada, by the way. By a Canadian.
Yeah, so Christmas Martian, Final Sacrifice, Anne of Green Gables,
Ouija Shark.
Ouija Shark, Rock and Roll Nightmare, like all of them. Yeah. Oh, Ginger Snaps.
Oh yeah, that was Canadian, wasn't it?
I'm just like all things Canadian. But yeah, it's
Mary Higgins Club.
yeah. What? Now, there are a lot of people out there who are saying that like this is one of the worst choices for riff tracks. I don't know about that. I think there have been much worse.
I think what the hell was the last movie?
Ember
I
Days.
can't remember.
Ember Days.
I think that was worse overall.
Yeah.
Just because of the whole, just the movie itself. This one,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
had
my
fun,
view
yeah.
on this was skewed because we had just watched Madam Web,
Yeah. I
and
think
my
a lot
brain
of that
was
has to do with,
desperate
yeah.
for entertainment.
And you didn't get it.
I didn't get it from Madam Web, and I kind of didn't get it from Ouija Shark. I got it a little more from Ouija Shark.
Yes, we had a very surreal double feature today.
Ouija Shark.
Ouija
Is
Shark.
that one of those Ouija boards?
Ouija boards. So I'd probably put it in rotation. I wouldn't take it out of rotation. It's not a never watch again. I think I would watch it back to back with Jurassic Shark just so I could like see like all the similar things. But I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it like I hated the other movie that we watched.
Okay, first of all, Dave, I have to clear up something.
Okay.
When we were talking about the dates, like when does this take place? Like at the beginning, it was apparently 1973, not 1979.
It said 1979 though, didn't it?
I don't.
We're talking about Madam. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because apparently
we're talking
it was
about Madam Web now.
1973.
I could have sworn they said. I could have sworn it said on screen 1979.
I really thought so too.
Because that would make Dakota Johnson 22 in the movie.
Because this
We're
says
talking
it's
about
30
Madam Web
years
here,
later,
guys.
so she would have been 30,
Okay, so like,
which
and
does kind of make a little more sense.
Dakota Johnson. I'm sure you're a lovely young woman with much nicer, thicker hair than me. And, you know, I'm sure you're a great actress who loves to get your bottom smacked by Christian Grey and really, really likes it. And everybody's seen your nipples. I'm sure you're a great, respected actress. Okay. But you don't look 22. You do not.
Yeah, so
You
we
do
were
not.
really confused by that. We're like, is she really supposed to be 22? Like,
Yeah.
Rivius, they did change the date that the movie took place in. Yeah, so right away.
So, yeah.
Right away with this movie, there's problems.
There's
Because,
big problem.
like, right in the very first scene, we've got the Mom Web, walking through the Peruvian Amazon with Ezekiel, generic bad guy, and I'm sorry,
Oh,
Ezekiel Batman.
Jeremy.
He's Ezekiel Batman.
Jeremy, I meant to say,
Yes.
I was doing a Wikipedia thing, and I looked up that actress who played Mom Web.
Yeah.
Okay, I found out something interesting. Apparently, she died at the Pentagon on 9/11. Okay.
Anyway,
Sorry.
she's talking to Ezekiel, and he's like, I only brought you along because I was told you'd be able to find the spider. Okay. His face is in frame. He is facing the camera. His mouth is not moving at all. He is not talking.
Oh, I didn't notice this.
Right off the bat, we've got this big mistake. And it just leads to more. She finds the spider. He's like, I'm a bad guy, bang, bang, and kills everybody.
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about our villain for a moment. Is he the worst villain in the history of comic book movies?
Yes.
My vote is yes.
Absolutely.
At least Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dr. Freeze was entertaining. And you've come I think people over time have come to appreciate that performance as, for the comedic attempt that it was.
Yeah.
This is just garbage. Like this guy, evil Spider-Man, I can't, and a lot of it has to do with the script. Whoever wrote this script and this dialogue needs to be in prison. They need to have their freedom taken away. It's the only way they'll learn.
That was Matt Sazama and Burke Sharpless.
I really hope that they're ashamed of themselves.
I hope so
really,
too.
really bad.
What? I want to know what else they wrote.
Guys, the dialogue, I don't know what the worst part of this movie is, but the dialogue is a top contender. What's up?
They wrote Morbius.
Okay.
Which was also garbage.
Yeah,
and they wrote Dracula Untold.
Okay.
From 2014. And they wrote that last Witch Hunter movie with Vin Diesel. And they wrote Gods of Egypt, which was garbage. So they've got a long history of trash.
Why does anybody pay them to write movies? Every single one of those movies you just said is awful.
Yeah.
Like every single one of them is like F tier trash. It is famous trash.
Oh, yeah. In 2011, they were hired by 20th Century Fox to adapt Missile Command as a movie.
What the hell is Missile Command?
That's the game where it's an old Atari game where you have like these little bases and there's missiles coming down and you have to it was a paddle game to move the cursor and you had to try shoot missiles to stop the other missiles. And
why would you want to make a movie out of that?
I don't know.
Okay, well, anyway, Madam Web, the dialogue is terrible, and the motivation of the villain is be like, oh, I just wanted to get this spider, gave me superpowers.
Yeah, because the spider that they're looking for,
I guess it made him Batman.
The spider that they're looking for has some peptides in its venom that increases the physical capabilities of the people that it bites. It supercharges the cells, according to Mom Web. And Mom Web has the spider in a jar. He shoots Mom Web and runs off with the spider. And then these Peruvian spider people come climbing down from the trees.
There's the trees, yeah.
Painted red, and they're wearing black stuff that kind of resembles webbing, I guess. And they pick her up in very bad CG, jump through the trees to take her to this glowing underwater cave lake that they float her in, let the spider bite her, which then transfers to the baby who is born underwater while the mother is still completely pregnant.
Yes, they couldn't be bothered to take her pregnant belly off.
Like, that's
in
not how it
production.
works, guys. When you have your baby, when you deliver a baby, your stomach does not stay out like that. It kind of, moves.
Well, the thing is, they got that correct later in the movie, though.
Yeah. Yeah, during the flashback thing, I noticed that. And I'm like, did they fix it for this part?
Not even in the flashback. I mean, I guess they got it right in the flashback. What I'm talking about is when, spoiler alert, when Andrew Garfield is born later.
When Spider-Man is born.
Or maybe it's Andrew Garfield. Maybe it's not. It's completely unclear.
There's a lot of things that are completely unclear
there's
about this movie.
Dude, there's so much about this movie that is just enraging. So I guess Mom Webb dies.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's 2003. And boy, are we reminded that it is 2003 over and over and over and over again. First thing is just be like, we see everyone's favorite, and I wish people would shut the hell up about Blockbuster Video. Like, between Captain Marvel, all the Blockbuster documentaries, everybody to be like, well, I remember Blockbuster, like getting all dressed up and going to the Blockbuster to like go in, and it smelled just like Blockbuster, and like we don't have that anymore because of Netflix. But I remember
they have Blockbuster candles that you can buy now.
Blockbuster. Shut up! I don't care. It was a horrible place. We need.
They didn't even have that good of a selection, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Like I don't care. Stop talking about Blockbuster. It died. It deserved to die. We have better things now.
Yeah.
Let's move on with our lives. Let's move on from Blockbuster nostalgia. I'm done.
It was the Radio Shack of movies. Yes, very
yeah.
true. So we're in 2003. I can't say 20 because there's no other digit there.
Yeah.
And we see Madam Webb driving
and Guy from Parks and
ambulance.
Rec.
Yeah, and Guy from Parks and Rec. Ben. No, he's Ben in this movie. Well, he's Ben in Parks and Rec too. He's just Ben. He's
something that I didn't pick up on until it was confirmed. Now later, this Ben is confirmed to be Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Who he becomes. Now, okay, so this movie takes place in 2003. Okay. So, and I read on the internet that the Spider-Man that is born in this movie was intended at some point to be Andrew Garfield, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So that means that
was probably before they changed the time that the movie took place in. Because originally it wasn't going to be in 2003.
Okay, so, but if that's so, Emma Roberts is Mary Parker. So it's maybe they're intending it to be Tom Holland. I don't know. But either way, we get Uncle Ben. He's either Martin Sheen. 9 years later, we get that guy became Martin Sheen in The Amazing Spider-Man. And Andrew Garfield, just, I guess, because he's a Spider-Man, double age, was like 17 or 16, however old he was in 2012. But he was born in 2003. But, man, boy, oh boy. It's pretty messed up. So, but she's just like, so Dakota Johnson, I almost call her Dakota Fanning. Dakota Johnson is driving to be like, and dude, she is like, I don't want to say she's a bad actress.
She's definitely not good in this.
Nobody was good in this.
I told Dave when we were watching this, I'm like, I know for a fact that some of the people that are in this movie can act.
Well, I know Sydney Sweeney is allegedly a good actress.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah. But she okay, so she's trying to be like, I'm a driver, I'm a paramedic. Like this is how she delivers her lines. To be like, this person's not gonna flatline on my watch. My hands are at 10 and 2, and I'm looking around. And boy, oh boy, this New York traffic, I can't wait to get this guy to the hospital so he can live. Okay. And so they're going to the hospital, and one of the Spider Girls that becomes like the Spider Girl team in the future. Boy, oh boy, did they
Eventually.
jump the gun on that. Um,
We only see them as the Spider Girl team twice, and neither of
Yeah.
them actually take place during the movie. It's in the future.
yeah. So yeah. No, it's like these girls are gonna be, but one of them cuts the ambulance off and like gives her the finger, and Dakota
The
Johnson
edgy
is like,
skateboarding one.
yeah, she's like, who flips off an ambulance? And I'm like, I don't think you would be thinking that, lady, paramedic lady. I think it would be like, they're like, brr, brr, you know, trying to get.
Oh my
to
god,
the,
I almost
trying to
ran
get
this
to the-
girl over.
Yeah, but then like 5 seconds later, you would not be thinking about that because you didn't run the girl over. You're trying to get Uncle Ben and Dying Guy to the ambulance because, as mentioned before, he's not going to flatline on my watch. So they get there, and I guess they save him.
Yeah, he's fine.
And yeah, he's fine. So and then they're like in like the break room, and she's like and Uncle Ben is like, oh, I met somebody clear. And this is when I was like, she calls him Ben. I was like, and I was just like, just off it, like, oh, Uncle Ben. And then Jeremy was like, yes. And I was like, shut up. Is it really?
Yes, it is really.
Like, apparently it is
Uncle
Uncle
Ben.
Ben. Yeah. So he's talking about, he guess he met, he either met, if it's Martin Sheen, he met Sally Field. And if it's the Uncle Ben we never saw in the MCU, he met
Marissa
Marissa
Tomei.
Tomei.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, it's serious. Like yeah. So I guess Madam Web is in love with Uncle Ben because I think I think she has to be because
does
he's in
kind
the
of
movie
play that
a
way.
lot.
Yeah.
Like he's in the movie a lot. And I don't think we ever see Aunt May in this.
No.
Do we?
don't.
I know we see Emma Roberts. Okay, why was Emma Roberts of all people in a supporting role in this? Like she is.
Your guess is as good as
maybe not-
mine.
Maybe not S tier, but like at least A or B tier. Like she's not nobody.
Yeah.
She's got more name recognition than most of the people in this movie. I'm trying to think of all the legit movie stars. I think Emma Roberts is the most known out of anybody in this movie, and she's just Spider-Man's mom. Just
before
happens to
Sydney
be there.
Sweeney, because Sydney Sweeney, like her star is like going up like this right now. She's been in a bunch of crap, and I mean I'm sure it's fine.
I just
movies,
noticed
I
people.
just don't care about it.
Look. The only thing I know about Sydney Sweeney is apparently there are memes about her boobs. Okay, that's the only thing I know about her. So she's like, oh, it's serious, and I guess she goes home and she like has like a memento box, like, oh, I'm so alone. I was like, well, why didn't you get with Uncle Ben before you found Aunt May? Like you could have been Aunt May, you could have been Aunt Cassie,
Yeah.
and then you could have been killed by the Green Goblin.
She did have a call. I don't remember if that was right after this or right before this. Oh, it was right after this because
someone was like drunk calling her. Was Ben drunk calling her? Be like,
no,
"Oh,
I mean
my
like an
feelings
ambulance
click."
call. Like they had to like stop a guy from falling into the river in his car, flipped over, hanging off a bridge, and she climbs inside of it to cut the seatbelt off.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that was
yeah.
before this or after this. I think it was,
It was after this. But before that, I just want to say she has because it's important later. She has a box of like mom stuff because screw her dad. Of like my mom, she died, and like all this stuff. Like her mom, like, why did you hate me so much to take me down to the Amazon and risk my life by looking for spiders and shit?
Yeah,
right.
The animosity towards her dead mom is really weird.
Yeah, it's not something that is realistic. I don't think.
No.
But anyway, next scene, they're cutting a dude out of they're on another ambulance call and got in an accident somehow. Maybe he was watching Tic Tacs or, playing Scrabble on his phone or something. I don't know. It's never like how he got into the situation. So, but we're 100% sure it had something to do with his cell phone.
Yeah.
He's like in this very precarious situation where he's like half falling off a bridge and half not. And, Madam Webb gets in there, like, "Hi, my name's Cassie. I'm going to cut you down now, okay?" And they're able to like get him out, but the car falls down with her in it. And
the dumbest part about this, as the car is falling, it like passes through like the hole where it crashed through the guardrail. The guardrail shuts the doors on the car when it's going down. And I saw that right before what happens when she's in the water. And I was like, this is so stupid. Like, this is the dumbest. I mean, I felt like this through the whole movie, but like that in particular, I'm like, okay, really? That's how we're going to shut the doors on this car? Come on.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that she was in the car still until like they were under the water. I was like, oh, she's in the car. Like that's how unclear it was. So, and then she has like all these visions down there. She sees an S. Like, okay, God, she's a horrible clairvoyant. Okay. like she's clairvoyant. The movie makes it clear many times that she's clairvoyant, and it takes her a long time to put it together. So she sees like all this stuff that's got to do with like stuff that's at the end of the movie. She gets pulled out by Uncle Ben and is resuscitated by Uncle Ben. And you would think with the number of paramedics and police on the scene that there would be more than just Uncle Ben down at the river level saving this woman. No, it's just him. And I'm like, where's everybody else?
Yeah, because it's only 3 minutes later.
Yeah. She's like, did I die? Like, no, you're alive. And he's like, yes, you died. I'm like, no, she didn't. She did not die. That didn't happen. But so anyway, her clairvoyance has been unlocked. And she starts getting
super annoying too.
Yeah, she starts getting like little glimpses of like conversations, and it's not even interesting, like memorable stuff. Like she'll hear like parts of conversations again, and then they're like later on they do some dumb stuff in the subway, and later on they like go to they're at another like horrific site where she's like doing chest compression, doing the most boring
It's the fireworks factory.
Yeah, it's literally a fireworks factory, and she's like doing chest compressions on this guy while everyone else is like running around. It's like, does anybody want to help this woman do chest compressions on this guy? Like, what is happening? What year is this? This is 1985. What is happening? But so I guess so, and then they have, I guess, a guy we just met, a guy that she cares a lot about, and he'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go get in this ambulance now and drive away, and I'm gonna get hit by a truck and die. And she saw it happen but didn't warn him.
She was like, let me drive.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I got it, I'm fine.
So yeah.
And
so
I
then
I gotta say,
yeah,
when his ambulance got creamed by the semi, I laughed so hard. And I messaged Dave and I'm like, You're not supposed to laugh when somebody dies like that, right?
Yeah, I was just a little bit behind him, and I was like, oh, no, not guy we just met and don't care about. Not him. So anyway, she's very, very, very slowly and annoyingly discovers that like she's seeing people's deaths. Okay. So she's on a Okay, now before we get to the subway scene where we see the three Spider Girls, we have to talk about evil Spider-Man, who is also Batman.
Yes.
This
is right after the scene at the fireworks factory.
Okay, so he is having dreams about the Spider Girls at some future date killing him. Okay.
way in the future because he's got like
Yeah,
all
way
gray
in-
hair. He's super
Yeah.
old. He has this vision. He wakes up. The lady who's in bed with him is like, "Oh, bad dream, hon."
A
He's
government
like, "It's not a
agent with
dream."
the NSA. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Like,
was a
okay, guys,
vision.
I
I'm
don't
going
know
to be
what
murdered.
his deal is. Like I don't know what his criminal enterprise is. He's just bad. Like I don't know what he does. I don't know. I
He's
don't know if
rich.
the film makes it clear.
That's all we know.
But
he has
like,
money.
but like we don't know what he uses his spider powers to inflict evil on the world. We don't know what it is that he does that's bad. But he's bad, and he parts of his spider powers that he got from the spider that bit him is that he sees flashes of his death and he becomes obsessed with the 3 spider girls. Okay. And he's talking to NSA lady, and NSA lady tells him something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. He kills her, and he goes back to his Batman lair. He goes back to his Bat cave. It's not a cave, but it's kind of like the Batman setup. That's yeah. And
But
he
gets-
has a lady. He has a and she's not ugly, but she's like, a 6 or a 7, as to not compete with, the bombshell wonder that is Dakota Johnson. He'd be like, okay, I need you to find these spider girls that I see in my dreams. And I guess he described what the spider girls looked like in his dreams to the tech girl, and she's able to perfectly recreate their faces. And she's like, this is how you see each of these girls in your dream. Now let me tell you something about my dreams. Okay. I couldn't like someone I don't know that I see in my dream. First of all, I don't think that's possible. That you can dream about somebody that you've never seen.
Right.
And if you do, their faces are like blank. Okay. Like the fact that he can remember like people that he doesn't know from his dreams and describe them perfectly to somebody else that they can then put it into a computer program and be like, this is exactly how you see it in your dreams. Don't buy it. It's impossible.
Yep.
Like, it's kind of okay. So like, for example, one time in my dream, I was like, why can't I I would try to like, I thought like, am I in a dream? And I like grabbed the newspaper and I pulled it close and like the words were just nonsense. And I was like, oh, this is like, so my dreams are like video games, right? So it's like, there's like the words are just Lorem Ipsum. It's just like enough for me to see from like a distance. You're not meant to actually go read the newspapers in your dream because your brain's just like, oh, what do I do now?
Right.
Like I actually have to come up like with a comprehensive article. That's kind of like, well, what did the newspaper article say in your dream? Like, I don't know. It's not real words. The same thing if you dream about somebody you don't know, you try to go look at them closely, your brain's going to be like, whoa, I wasn't ready for this. What I'm saying is don't buy it. Don't buy that he could do that.
No. So he has this Batman equipment now, the same stuff that Lucius uses in what is that?
In the Dark Knight. Yeah.
And she uses it to track down these girls through facial recognition.
And she's found, she knows all their names.
Yeah.
So Sydney Sweeney, Hispanic girl, and skateboard girl.
Yeah. That's,
and they're all future girls.
Yeah. Way future Spider Girls because it doesn't happen at all in this movie at all.
So Madam Web, she's on the subway, and she sees evil Spider-Man come onto the subway. For some reason, all these girls are fated to be on the same subway car together with Madam Web and evil Spider-Man.
Yep.
And so he comes in and he gacks all of them. Like Madam Web tries to get up, he stabs her in the boobs, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta save everybody." And and she does, and she gets like, okay, everybody get off the car now, and like Sydney Sweeney and the rest of them, like skateboard girls, like, you're not my mom, and she's like, oh, here, I have your skateboard now, and she'd be like, no, don't. So like everybody gets off the car, and skateboard girl says, I'm pressing charges, and I was like, but actually shows later
Sydney Sweeney's like
Sydney's.
Help, we're being abducted.
Yes. Oh my gosh, dude, these screenwriters should be in jail. It's so bad. Okay. These actresses, I know they have to be kind of smart. They had to have known that this was really bad.
Yeah.
Like with the dialogue that they were given. But anyway, Dakota Johnson is like, okay, you guys are all gonna die. Let's go steal a taxi cab. And I'm just, and I could just hear it be like, don't make any jokes about Uber. It's like we're in 2003. I'm surprised they didn't try to make jokes about payphones. Like taxi cabs don't exist anymore. To be like, these guys will never.
Razor flip phones, which just came out like right around that time.
Did something happen in chat?
Yeah, somebody redeemed emote only.
Okay. But
yeah, they get away and they hide in the woods for a little bit.
And they hide in the woods, and Madam Web is like, I saved all your lives. And they'll be like, okay, well, what do we do now? Like, I don't know. I'm going to leave you all here. Stay here in the woods. Don't
I'll be back
go
in
anywhere.
3 hours.
So she goes back into town, takes the license plates off of the cab, like that's going to help.
Rips it off with a crowbar.
Yeah, Jeremy said that's not how license plates work. But it's what else happens, man? And then
the girls
so
decide
she starts reading up on the spiders again.
No. Dumbest scene in this whole movie. The dumbest scene in this whole movie is right here.
Well, it's one of them.
It's one of them. I still think it's the dumbest scene in the movie. But
it'd just be like, Madam Web goes to her like box, her mom box. And she's like, starts going through and reading about all the spiders. She's like, oh, the spider venom gives you spider superpowers. Do I have spider superpowers? She tries to crawl up the wall.
How do you know that you can crawl on a wall unless you've tried it? That's literally what she says to her cat, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, but we don't need to talk about that. Dude, there's so much more. We can't get into the cat.
She literally goes up to the wall and she like puts her hands on it and she tries to
be like, oh, am I Spider-Man? Like, I've seen Spider-Man in movies, and like maybe I'm Spider-Man. Oh, guess I'm not. She jumps up and like slides down. Yeah, and it's just like, well, that was like if I was Dakota Johnson, I would be like, I quit. You guys, like, I know Christian Grey has smacked my bottom in 50 Shades of Grey, and everyone's seen my nipples. But this is worse than that, and I quit.
It's really bad, guys.
Yeah, it's awful. But anyway, so back in the woods,
the girls decide that they're gonna sneak off to this diner that they saw when they were driving in.
So it must have taken them 2 hours to get there. So
this part also really bothered me because
we get another we get a couple of remember it's 2003 things in this. Like one of the Sydney's, like someone says there's a reference to Martha Stewart getting arrested and sent to prison, and Sydney Sweeney is like, oh, poor Martha, what happened to her or something like that. Poor Martha Stewart. And they're all talking about like where they came from and how they're all like some kind of orphan and like their parents hate them or their parents are dead. And it's like orphan squad. So, but like skateboard girls, like my parents are rich and they didn't want me and they're off. And I kid you not, she says my parents are off polluting the ocean, the whole ocean. My parents are polluting it. They're bad and I hate them. I'm basically on my own. This 1% kid, this spoiled brat who wears Catholic school well, yeah.
Sydney
it's,
Sweeney wears like the school.
Yeah, no,
girl
she wears a
outfit.
skirt. Yeah, she wears a skirt the whole time. But first time we see Skateboard Girl, she's in her private school uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she flips off the ambulance. But
They
it's
get to, I'm gonna skip ahead of just a little tiny bit.
okay.
They get to the diner, right? And they're like eating all this food because the girl, the rich girl, has a credit card or whatever, and she's just like, I'm just gonna buy one of everything, and they're like, we gotta have cherry pie, and the one girl's like, no, we don't have time for that, and she turns to Sydney Sweeney and she's like, you agree we should have dessert, right? But she's not paying attention because she's flirting with some boys sitting in the corner booth, and the DJ
Be the
on
last
the radio
thing on any of their minds.
starts playing the brand new hit song by Britney Spears, "Toxic." And the next time we see the girls, they're standing on this table in the diner. There's no way that they would have let
no way
that
the manager
happen.
would allow that.
Yeah, they would have been like, get your ass off that table right now and get out of here. Pay your bill and get out. Like, instead
Not even pay your bill, maybe.
Yeah, we get another flash forward where Dakota's walking into the diner and bad Spider-Man walks in and
it's like kills all of them.
Kills them all. And I must say, I told Dave this. I did quite enjoy how he killed Sydney Sweeney in this part, where he like punched her, slammed her head down like on the back of a chair, and then hit her body so it like broke her neck. And I said, just too bad that it didn't take, because then it wasn't. It
yeah,
didn't
I was
happen.
like, oh, they're all dead. Hooray, movie over. But no, it's just like, no, it didn't. Yeah. So Dakota Johnson is like, well, we're going to go save them again. We're going to go. And then we just see how they got there. We didn't need to be like, let's go flirt with boys. So what's her name? Dakota Johnson drives the car through the front of the restaurant, Steve Urkel style.
And
oh no, wait, was it Steve Urkel that on Family Matters, or was it the kid? Was it the son?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But she hits evil Spider-Man with the taxi and bounces him off. And that's not the only time that she ends up hitting him with a vehicle. The second time is way worse.
It's way. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, but anyway, so bad. She drive. She hits him with the car, and they like go and they F off to a hotel, and she teaches them chest compressions because she's going to be chest compressed later on at the end of the movie.
Chekhov's chest compressions.
Yes, they have to set up that everybody knows that they know how to be EMTs because Dakota Johnson. I never thought I'd say this, but you're a good teacher.
What? Still not gonna high five you though. Okay, so we get through all this crap. They end up at Ben's house with his sister staying with him for a while because
it'd be like, oh yeah, no one will ever snuff out Spider-Man's parents.
Yeah, and then Spider-Man's mom goes into labor. And
be like, I think I'm having an Andrew Garfield.
She's like, I either peed my pants or my water just broke.
Wow, that's the dumbest woman in the world.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, you know.
Oh yeah, no. But then Uncle Ben starts to argue with her. It's like, well, I don't think your water broke. I think you're too dumb to know. He's like,
it's 4 weeks early.
It's like, dickhead, I told you my water broke. Let's go to the hospital now for this baby. You prick.
Real quick. We did skip over the baby shower scene in this.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
The only thing I want to mention about that is they're talking about, like, they have these little slips of paper where they write down a memory of their mom.
Oh yeah,
and hers, Madam Webb's was blank, and they're like, "Whose is this?" And she's like, "Oh, this is mine." And they're like, surely you have some fond memories of your mom. And she's like, no.
Like, my mom died in childbirth.
She died during childbirth. And then we see
it's supposed to be funny, and it
Peter
really
Parker's
isn't.
mom is horrified. And she's like, oh, well, it's really rare that happens. Plus, she was in the jungle at the time, away from any sort of civilization. And it's just the dumbest, most awkward thing. It's so bad. Everything about this movie is just awful like that. When they're in the car going to the hospital, the one girl's face gets caught on a security camera. So Spy Girl sees it and sends out evil Bat Spider-Man after them. And he has her change every streetlight green. So they get like stuck in traffic. And he's on this Calvin Klein billboard, and at the same time, Madam Web has stolen an ambulance from the people who were coming to Ben's house to pick them up, but they were gone. So she steals the ambulance, and she's using her powers of vision. She drives through the building. It must have been like a parking garage. She drives through the billboard while evil Spider-Man is jumping down off the billboard. I better use this hand. And she comes up behind him with the ambulance and hits him in midair and bounces him off to the side. Gets the girls in the ambulance and takes off, and he starts hopping from car to car to chase them down. She's like, oh, charge up the AFib and just trust me on this. And wait for the time.
Oh yeah, they put the defib up on the ceiling and zap it, and that's supposed to like zap him off the top of the ambulance. We should mention that Madam Web had a Doctor Strange moment before all this and talked to Ghost Mom.
Yeah, she
and
talked
Ghost Mom
to her mom in the past after she found out that she had a neuromuscular disorder.
Oh yeah, that's the reason. Being like, well, I'm going down to Peru so that
these magic spiders can save my baby.
If not that, then well, it's just abortion time, I guess.
And then she sees her. She starts crying, and she's like, "Oh, I can't believe I was mad at you, but you saved me. It's fine." And then she saw her, and they hugged, and then she like came back to her body. Anyway,
it's so okay. Like, okay, so clearly, okay, I will say this: the director is, sorry guys, the director's a woman. She is, and this movie is kind of geared. What they wanted to do was what they think women are, things that women care about, like their relationships with their mothers and like girl power superhero teams and stuff like that. Only the problem is it's done very poorly. These themes were done much, 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 much better in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, they were.
But I think that in their zeal, let's say, to do an all-girl superhero team, it's very much like Star Trek Discovery. It's that bad.
The problem is they didn't have the super team because they didn't have any powers at all.
Yeah. I don't know how it happens. I guess at some point in the future. But anyway, so they have their big showdown with evil Spider-Man.
In the fireworks factory from earlier. Because she remembered hearing someone say, oh, it's a death trap. And it'll be fine as long as we're not the ones who are trapped. And they start putting road flares in all of these crates full of full and he shows up, and she's using her future vision power to know exactly where all of the fireworks are going to go and what walls they're going to hit to break through so they can escape. And then she has a vision of that. She sees the S from her vision. And it's part of a Pepsi sign. And
yes, how much do you think Pepsi paid for this?
Well, they must have paid a lot because, spoiler alert, the bad guy gets crushed by the Pepsi sign. He gets killed by a Pepsi.
Yeah, like
my first thought.
It happens really quick. Like
my
really
first thought, Dave, was You might remember this. This was from the Strong Bad email where he thinks about what it would be like to be invisible, and he's carrying the Swiss cake rolls, and he punches Homestar in the stomach.
Ow! Those things are bad
those things
for you.
are bad for you. That's the first thing I thought of when the guy got killed by the Pepsi side. But she got hit in the face with a firework, and she got hit by something else too, underwater again, where
and she went blind.
Sydney Sweeney drags her out of the water, and surprise, surprise, they start chest compressions on her to save her life.
This is where the chest compression back. Oh, you're such a good teacher. No, please leave. You have to be our blind Professor X.
Blind
poop
and
into
paralyzed.
colostomy bag.
Yeah. And we get the really, really, really dumb last scene of them in her apartment. And they're like, "How's the vision?" And she's like, "I can see better than I ever could before."
And she has these really stupid sunglasses. Oh my gosh, they're so dumb. Like, okay, think about any futuristic like sunglasses, like from Max Headroom or Back to the Future Part 2, or any of these futuristic sunglasses that look so dumb from our childhoods in the 80s and the 90s. It is way worse than any of those. Like Geordie LaForge from Star Trek The Next Generation, LeVar Burton would not be caught dead in these things. Okay. So she wears that, she'd be like, "Oh yes, like, oh, you're eating Honey Nut Cheerios, you know those are bad for you. How did you know I was eating Honey Nut Cheerios? You're blind."
It's basically that, yes.
Yeah.
All right, I got to show you guys this because you're not going to believe us on how bad these are. Unless I actually show you.
Oh yeah, and Emma Roberts gives birth to Andrew Garfield. I can't really see it, but
let me change tabs here because I have it in a different. Share this tab instead. Look at those.
Rivius says next week, "How when we watch a good movie?" You know what? I think we should. Let's watch a good movie.
Look at these sunglasses.
Yeah,
look how
at those.
stupid
those are horrible.
Those are the dumbest things ever. So bad.
I feel so bad for these actresses.
And then she's
she's
like, "I can see your future, and you're standing up for what you would believe in, and you're strong."
And it shows them,
and it's showing them as their Spider Girls again.
Spider Girls fighting like burglars and shit. And then they'd be like, "Oh, and then I'm gonna be your Professor X and send you on your missions." And she's like, they're floating, and they do like their hero poses.
Because I forgot to mention this during the final fight when the chieftain does his Doctor Strange thing to her and pushes her soul out of her body. Right after she comes back, he's like, when you accept the responsibility, great power will come. And he's like, use the web.
There is so much Spider-Man stolen valor in this. Like, why don't you just bring him out?
But she uses the web to astral project multiple versions of herself to save
her name is Web too, though.
Yeah. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
So she's basically Lady Professor X who can it's stupid.
And then
I hate
so
it.
you got like the kind of like superhero-y music behind, while she's talking about all this stuff and then the credits starts. The credits start and they start
what
playing,
song is it?
It's Dreams by the Cranberries.
Yeah.
It's so
because it's something it's like being like, what's a girly song? What's a girl power song? And they chose that to end their super the end credits of Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1 is like shaking its head like we were right here. We were right here. This is how you do it. But no.
Okay.
That's Madam Web. Okay, so guys, the reason I'm so angry about this is because I feel like I was sold a bill of goods with Madam Web. I feel like I was sold on a great fun time. Like it was going to be super fun and exciting. yeah, kind of stupid, but like in a fun way. This wasn't fun. This was like it deserves the derision that it gets. Like you saw how excited I was to talk. I'll be like, oh, we're gonna do Madam Web finally. I feel like with this and Morbius led into this, but it's really more this because they even talked about it at the Oscars, for God's sakes. John Mulaney made a joke about it. This is like meme, like that meme fodder. Like people just kind of like glommed onto it, like not really seeing it. It's kind of like, you remember when all those doofuses said like, let's all go invade Area 51, and then nobody went and invaded Area 51. It's kind of like this. Everyone is like, oh, Madam Web's going to be so awful. We're all going to go see it, and then nobody saw it.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I was sold on a great fun time, and I didn't get it. Instead, I got Madam Web.
It was
and it's just like
awful. This movie made me angry while I was watching it.
Yeah,
like,
it was like it's not like it's not gonna like I'm sure it will get a cult following, but for like all the wrong reasons. I think this is kind of like people like trying to like will like a bad movie phenomenon into existence, and they were successful at that. But the thing is, it's like the movie is not charming enough.
No.
Or has to like be like a Neil Breen or The Room. Jeremy was saying that he saw this compared to The Room, and Jeremy, share them what you told me about that.
I saw somebody. It was in one of the Letterboxd reviews back when we were reading them, and somebody had said that it was The Room of superhero movies, and I told Dave that is insulting to The Room.
It is insulting to The Room. That's not a joke.
I also told Dave that I had a bold claim that I was going to make.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he wouldn't tell me about it. Now, okay, Jeremy did say that he had a bold claim to make to me. He's like, well, what is it? And he's like, well, I want to get your reaction. And my thought is like, well, the boldest claim you could possibly make is that this is one of the worst movies ever made by Hollywood, maybe even the worst. And if you did make that claim, it's not going to surprise me. But I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that maybe it's going to be shocking.
That is part of it.
Okay.
But this movie hands down is like the worst. I've seen a lot
it's
of
definitely
Hollywood
the worst superhero movie.
It is 1,000%. It is worse than Catwoman. It is worse than Morbius. It is worse than Cats.
Oh.
I will, rather than ever watch this movie again, unless it's Rift, because obviously I'll watch it if it's Rift, I will watch Cats again before I ever watch this movie again. Under any circumstance.
That is a
I will
bold
watch
claim.
Cats again before I
Before
ever
you
watch
watch Madam Web.
Even Rift, I will watch Cats again.
Now, you said that I would look at you like you were crazy, or I would agree with you. I'm not looking at you like you're crazy, because I get it. But if you're asking,
I know
me
you don't
that,
agree with me.
But if you're asking me that, I think I would watch this again before I watch Cats again. That's just me.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that I'm gonna watch this again. But if someone's like, hey, you're in, I have a magic spider. Or, hey, there's this person that you're in love with and you could be with this person, but you have to watch one movie, Cats or Madam Web again. Which is it? I'm going to choose Madam Web.
Fair enough. I just don't think I don't think I can sit through it again. I just don't.
Oh, yeah, dude,
because it's not a fun bad.
It's
just
not
bad.
creating Rem Lazar. It's not any of that. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, like, well, Riff Tracks should do it. They should do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this would be great for Bridget and Mary Jo to do.
Yeah.
And again, I will watch it, but I
Yeah, this is not going into like The Room. This is not going into that tier. This is like, I wouldn't put it quite in the Copper Mountain tier, but
I would.
It's it's pretty bad. It's really bad. It's probably one of the worst movies ever made in Hollywood. Like in that Wikipedia list of movies considered the worst, like Freddy Got Fingered, I think it's in that tier.
I did say that too. I told Dave I would rather finish watching Freddy Got Fingered than watch this again.
Yeah.
I got my wife back when we were just engaged before we were married. We used to do this thing where we would go into a store and like, here's $20, go pick out a few dumb little gifts. And one of the things that she bought me one time was the VHS copy of Freddy Got Fingered. That's how long ago this was. And I'm like, oh, cool. You know, I kind of like Tom Green. Why not? I'll check it out.
Yeah, that's when
I put the
we're
VHS.
old enough to remember.
I put the VHS
We're old
in
enough
there.
to remember. Yeah, when Tom Green was like hot stuff.
Yeah,
He was like one of the number one comedic voices, and Freddie Got Finger kind of killed all of that. He was married to Drew Barrymore, for God's sake.
I got maybe 15 minutes into that movie. I turned it off. We both were like, "This, we can't." I turned it off, and I threw it away.
You threw it away?
Yeah, it was that bad. But I would rewatch it. Yes, we come full circle back to Blockbuster, right? I would rather finish watching that movie than ever watch Madam Web again. There's only been 2 movies I've ever turned off and never finished watching. And
neither one of them
them
are cats.
Huh?
Neither one of them were cats.
Neither one of them are I watched that all the way through. Of course, it did have the riff on it. But the other one was The Tuxedo, which was a Jackie Chan movie. It was this really bad American-made Jackie Chan movie with, I think it was Jennifer Love Hewitt. And it was hot garbage. And I am a huge fan of Jackie Chan movies. So I was
I'm a
super
huge fan of
disappointed.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, so
I turned it off, and I never finished it. I would rather watch both of those movies than go back to Madam Web.
Madman Web.
Yes. But I think that's all we got. I don't think I can be angry.
I think we exhausted all of our Madam Web talk. Yeah, I'm still really mad that this wasn't better. I mean, like better in the sense that it wasn't more fun, because I feel like it should have been, and that's kind of like where most of my anger towards, like, not anger, but just like deep disappointment. Like, I knew it wasn't going to be good, but I at least expected it to be fun, and it wasn't.
Not at all. Not at all. I was seriously. I'm glad that I was home by myself when I was watching it, because.
Yeah. So let's do a palate cleanser next week if we don't have a new release. What do you want to watch?
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Let's do what Rivius said. Yeah.
We
pay attention to the chat. Yeah.
We already talked about the Wizard of Oz. I'm trying to find like a riff of a good movie.
Furiosa, is that the
new Mad
Max movie?
Yeah. That one does not look good.
I haven't seen Fury Road.
I enjoyed Fury Road. It's definitely better than Beyond Thunderdome, but
I know that there's a gift with Bane in it that's be like, that's bait that people use.
Yeah, that's what that's.
I know
that's from.
It's in that movie. Yeah, is Charlize Theron in it?
She's Furiosa in that movie.
All right.
I mean, we have not done the jokes of Casablanca.
We have talked in the past about talking about Casablanca. And I think we've even said that we were going to do it a couple of times, but then like some new release came out.
Here's the thing. And this
I own Casablanca.
See, Dave always talks about how when people ask if he's seen like X popular movie or X classic movie or whatever, and he's like, no, and everybody's like, oh, this is one for me that I've never seen. I've never watched Casablanca before.
It's pretty good.
So maybe we should do that. Maybe even if maybe even if we get a new release.
Okay, all right. Casablanca.
Regardless, we'll talk about Casablanca next week.
Yeah. Okay. So next week Casablanca.
On my 46th birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Next
you could
Tuesday.
be. That's how old President Obama was when he took office.
Really?
Yeah, I
guess I'm
maybe
just so
even,
used to these olds that we've been getting.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, not to get political because all three of the major candidates are olds. Guys,
Hey, only one of them had literal brainworms, though.
I don't know which one of them.
RFK Jr. had
literal
worm
I believe
in his brain.
I believe that. Guys, vote for whoever you want. We're not telling you to do any of that.
Yeah.
But you're all old. You're all old. Go away. I don't want any of you. I hate all three of you. I do. That's my political statement. I hate all three of you. I might not even vote this year because I despise each and every one of you. There, I said it. That is my opinion. That is where I stand. No one can get mad at me because I hate them all equally.
I think along with whatever releases we get, like new releases, I think we need to start doing just the jokes with them and go through some of these. Because I would love to actually talk about like the X-Men riff, or even the Dark Knight. We've never actually talked about the Dark Knight riff itself.
And that was my first riff. Yeah, that was my introduction to riff tracks.
And there's a few that I'm looking at that I'm like, oh, I never actually watched Matthew J. Elliott's riff of Die Hard, and I think I would probably enjoy it. So we should definitely start doing that. I think that would be fun.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do Casablanca next week and play it by ear from there.
Yeah. But that's going to do it for us today, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us in the chat. If you like the podcast and want to support us, the best way to do so is to come over to twitch.tv/pbnawesome and give us a follow on there. Or, you can subscribe, or you can cheer bits, or there's all kinds of things you can do on Twitch to support us. You can also go to patreon.com/trueblueriffcast, and you can throw a couple dollars our way that way if you want to. Otherwise, you can follow the podcast on Twitter, formerly known as X, @TBRiffcast, and I'm pretty much everywhere else on the web as PB and Awesome.
And check me out. I'm Dave Chadwick. Check me out on Amazon and Audible. The Monkey audiobook was just released.
Woo!
Narrated by our good friend Rick Wolf. His is his alternate Twitch channel, Rick Gets Wrecked. He does a very funny show there, as well as on Robot Co-op. Go to Audible, search for Dave Chadwick Monkey. Get that. It's less than $14, guys. It's way cheaper than I thought it was going to be. So get that. It's been a long time coming, but we finally got it done. And check me out on X, formerly known as Twatter, @DChadwickAuthor.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. We'll see you next time right here on the True Blue Riffcast.
Rock till you die.
Rock,